Manchester United didn't just win the derby, they looked in control. It wasn't Moments FC, it wasn't Player FC, it was formation. So let's just take 5, 6 minutes and talk about how we actually did it. Okay. Structure, not moments. Over the past couple of years, United have been described as Moments FC or Player FC, or in the past it was Rashford or Bruno or Pogba or Ronaldo, or basically ever since Fergie. But this was a clear plan as to how to play against City. United prioritised compactness over the high press. So if you actually look, and I've just watched a really interesting thing with Carragher and Henry on Sky Sports, well, from Monday Night Football, and it was showing how United actually sat back and tried to let City play it into Rodri, which is their go-to move. And Mainoo basically spent the whole time counterbalancing, so he would pop out into that Rodri position, and then Ahmad, Dorgu, and Casemiro would come in as a three to create like another mid block behind them, and then the defense would push actually higher than people think. They sat back. The defense would actually push up really quite high, and obviously there was the determination, the aggression that we've not seen in a while. That was really really important, and I think it's really interesting. A few days removed, how number one, people get so excited. So if you just want like calm talking about United, someone that supported United for over 40 years and tries not to get too high and try not to get too low, this is the place for you. They allowed City to have the ball, and it was purposely. It wasn't like Ollie ball. It was similar, but they allowed them to have the ball, and they wanted to beat. They didn't allow them to have the high press that they always had as well. And we've done this to City before, but this did feel different. It did look different. So why did it look so different? Patterns. If any of you watched, I'm not going to go in on Amarim because I think after one game, I think we all know that it was the right decision. I know there's still very few Amarim here. All the players didn't play that like that for Amarim. Well, Bruno couldn't play like that for Amarim because he was playing in the wrong position. Mainoo didn't play. And Burma was in a different position. You can't talk about, well, they put in more effort. It wasn't like that. But if you notice, there was this really stagnant under Amarim, this constant side to side, and everyone kept saying, United DNA, pace, passion. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what you guys thought was the big difference. Like I said, I've just seen something Carragher and Henry were talking about, and they were just raving about Mainoo. Obviously, United fans are going to rave about Mainoo because we loved it, but it was progression, and they played the ball forward. And some of the one-touch stuff was actually insane, but it was forward-looking. And if they had to go back, but they went forward. They went back to go forward, which sounds really stupid, but they did it really, really quickly. Sorry, where I'm sitting, I can't sit at my desk. We're having the house decorated this week. It's chaos. So I'm sure some of you have seen the highlights and some of the one-touch stuff. This wasn't like United beating City 2-0 on the counter-attack in the back of the day and De Gea's had a worldie. This is the opposite. City dominated possession with one shot on target. United could have scored 5-6. It was unbelievable, and the man of the match was Donnarumma. I mean, it was absolutely, it was just outstanding. The beautiful thing that I always think about is when you've which is why I did my instant reaction, which you'll see, it'll be up here somewhere. But the few things I always like 3 days later is you've seen the highlights, you've loved it, you've enjoyed it, you felt the passion. We have a problem at right back. I'm not into this player FC, this player hate thing, but we could have lost that game in the 14th minute. Every time I see that, it was bad. Dallo, I've done a few shorts, those of you who follow me on it. He's so overly excitable when he gets in the final third, when he's defending. He could have taken it all away. I think there's a problem. I hope he's going to play Mazraoui next week, although it'd be hard for him to change the team. What in the comments, I genuinely think that, Mazraoui should come straight in. I think he's a better fullback, especially in the back four. Yes, Dallo's probably got more pace, maybe slightly better going forward. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But the biggest thing I took away from it is that we weren't all wrong about Kobbie Mainoo. This kid was playing in a European Championship final 18 months ago. We have seen the scenes when Ten Hag won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup in his first year, and he put his arm around Mainoo Garnacho and he told them, you're next. We weren't wrong about it. And I think it's all right to say, even if you are hammering in, it's okay to say that we were all right about Mainoo. It's okay to say that. The kid was outstanding. Bearing in mind, he's not even match fit. He's played such little football. And then the final thing is that really worries me as a United fan, and then I'm going to stop. Quickly go over the player ratings that I did the other night, if you didn't see the video, but we'll just have a look at them again. I see on YouTube, socials, people getting so excited. Give Carrick a job now. Guys, we've been here before. I'll do my Arsenal preview. I'll do midweek news on Thursday, probably this week, and Arsenal preview Saturday. But we're going to play the best team in the league on Saturday, Sunday. And it's all right to say, can we do it like that again? I would argue that's somewhere close to our best team, but I do think, De Ligt, I thought Maguire was incredible, but I do think De Ligt is the best centre-back with Martinez. And I think that I just don't want it because I don't think it's fair on Carrick. Now, I think if, you're 10 games in and say we lose to Arsenal, but he goes and beats the next 5 or 6 people, and you start to look at it and go, well, we actually do finish top 4 or top 5, and he gets us Champions League football. Is there any reason in ruining that? That's a conversation. But right now, to have people give him the contract, Carrick ball after one game, this could just be because the players were really up for it. And from everything I've heard, they'd had a real bad few weeks under Amorim. Some of the stuff that's come out and what he would say to the players in the changing room it's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It's not how even if he produced loads of results, it's not how a United manager treats young players. That's my biggest gripe with Amorim. It wasn't that I didn't like the way he played football. I didn't necessarily believe I didn't believe necessarily he should have been fired. I didn't like the way he treated the young players. That's not what we do at United. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And I will speak to you all probably on Thursday. Keep out for the shorts. Keep looking for the shorts during the day. They're quick, they're fast, and they give you all the information when you need it. Peace.